want to welcome you to our council comments. This is where we like to talk with our awesome city council members. We're joined today by Mr. Jamie Cole, Ward 5, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and we just kind of break down things that are going on within the city.
Sure.
Obviously, there's information all over the place, but sometimes it gets a little overwhelming and we may not understand it completely, right? Yeah. So, Jamie, I love talking with you because you have your hands in all the art stuff. That's kind of your forte, right?
Yeah, I'm excited about it, yeah.
I'd really love to start talking about the new amphitheater because we're seeing major movement with that, right?
Yeah, so you're right. There are a lot of sources of information. Sometimes it's misinformation, and so this is one of the conversations that's out there because the steel went up, right? Mm-hmm. You can really see the scope of it now, and so I wanted to talk a little bit about what that's going to look like and how we're going to use it, but also sort of the vision of that whole area.
Yes.
The amphitheater is really about community use. I tend to talk about it in terms of Railroad Park in downtown Birmingham. Mm-hmm. They have a beautiful stage there that's in a beautiful setting, and that's exactly what we're doing there. So not thinking about it in terms of Oak Mountain or the new amphitheater that's being built in downtown Birmingham or Orion in Huntsville or Sand Mountain Amphitheater. This is not a permanent seating type area. This is a community use stage. Mm-hmm. So we're going to put on some shows there. And if you live here and you want to put on a show, come put on a show. That's kind of the vision for it.
Okay, that sounds fun.
And this is that Siluria Mill District is what we're calling it.
Yeah.
Is sort of the northern anchor of a new city center that we're developing there. So if you think of it in terms of from there all the way around the corner down to 119 and Thompson Road, where we've got two basically new sports venues that have been renovated and are crowd ready and can do a lot of different things. And then right in between there where the old Thompson High School, Thompson Intermediate School property is now, the new rec center, the new library. Within a few tenths of a mile, you've got all of that with a lot of parking, completely walkable. And then even walkable from the backside because Buck Creek Park is sort of in that quad there.
It is.
And there's a trail that leads up to it. So a lot of parking in that area, a lot of walking in that area, and a lot of amenities. We also, just last night in our city council meeting, started the process of talking with a developer about the corner of 119 and Thompson Road, which we've always envisioned as a retail corner.
Right.
But now have a lot of interest from developers since it's going to be in the middle of all that, to go beyond retail and restaurants. So that's about all we can talk about right now, but that whole area is just going to transform over the next 3 to 5 years.
And just kind of all connect, which I think is so great. And lots of space and parking too, which is always great. We're always worried about parking.
Yeah, I mean, there are some, and we've had people ask about, with all this new stuff that's going in, where are we going to park?
Right.
Because there are some other areas and some other venues that are similar that don't have a lot of parking. But the thing that we're doing there is building parking incrementally, but also making it extremely walkable, which is something that people always talk about. Alabaster is really becoming something of an outdoor city, and that's really exciting for a lot of reasons, but also being able to get around into those new amenities, new venues will be really nice, whether you're, parking somewhere and walking, or even coming from neighborhoods.
So exciting.
Yeah.
Can you give me like a ish timeline on the amphitheater?
Yeah, so, I won't say we're ahead of schedule necessarily. I had not expected to see the steel go up that quickly, so I'm excited about that. We're hoping to have it ready for our Christmas festivities. There's a lot that goes on around that area during Christmas, and so we're hoping to have it ready for that. But even when the outside is done, I call it the guts. There's a lot that's going to be going on inside. There's a green room. There's a lot of storage there. The electronics for that venue are extensive. And so there'll be full production and lights and all that stuff. So that's got to come in too. But we're hoping to see that all there by Christmas.
Oh, I was hoping you'd say that.
Yeah, I hope so.
We have such fun Christmas festivities over there. I love that. Okay, well, more to come definitely on, especially kind of connecting all that with the city center.
Right.
So we'll keep updated on that.
Sounds good.
Now, this is something that we have talked about probably probably several months ago, but want to bring it back up. And that is our new ambulance service that we will be having within our city. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and how that's going to affect us?
Yeah, so the last time we talked about it, we had just passed the 1 penny sales tax.
Right.
A big deal to a lot of people, completely understand that. One of the biggest reasons that I supported that was ambulatory care.
Yes.
We've been deficient in that regard, not anybody's fault. It's just we have to contract out. Other cities do that. It's not, it's not something that's unusual. But we wanted to take that on. And one of the reasons was we wanted better service, faster service, local service. And that process is happening. Last night, and again in our city council meeting, we took another small step toward that by opening the bank accounts for it.
Okay.
A few weeks ago, we approved the billing company, which is really important because that helps us. They're experts at getting the funding from Medicaid, Medicare, getting those referrals and fulfillments back. That'll help us fund it from kind of the other side.
Right.
And we are going to have 3 ambulances in Alabaster.
Okay.
2 of them will be active all the time. One will kind of be a backup because the county is providing the machines. Helena has the same thing, Pelham has the same thing, and we'll have mutual aid just like we do with fire.
Wonderful.
So that'll be 6 active machines right in this region that we've never had before.
Right.
And I think I mentioned this last time. I had a neighbor, I live in the Lake Forest neighborhood. I had a neighbor that came and spoke about an ambulance being late that affected her family, tragically.
Yeah.
And we're trying to eliminate that. We live in an incredible city. It's a very livable city in every sense of the word. And this is an area that we need to correct. So I actually, in preparation for talking to you, I talked to Chief Love, our fire chief, this morning, and Jan 1, 2025, we are going to be active and ready to go. We approved payroll for this in this calendar year. They've already hired a lot of the personnel, getting trained throughout the fall, so we're going to be ready to go in January.
I said to you, this is truly a game changer for us.
It is,
as the wife of a first responder, and I hear stories about ambulances having to come from Gardendale or Chilton County, and to have machines at our disposal all around, mutual aid as well.
Yeah,
game changer.
And Nicole, I want to be clear, and you as a spouse of a first responder, you understand this. Doing the best we can in the moment. Like the contract services are awesome. They do what they can.
Yes.
This is a step up that we feel like we needed to take because our residents deserve it, and it's the right time to do it. And it was part of that 1 cent. That's why that's a big impetus behind proposing that and passing it.
We're really excited about that and thankful for the work that you guys are doing on that.
Yeah.
It's huge for everyone. Now, 2 hot button issues within the city, and we talk about District 31, and we also talk about 119.
Yeah.
And there's a few updates there, but I think it's always good, when we're not seeing lots of forward movement with our eyes, it's always good to go back and say what's really happening and why are we maybe not seeing that.
Well, there's a lot of progress happening on the District 31 side. And you're right, it's not always stuff that you can see, but the machinations have to continue kind of in the background, so to speak. You've seen a lot of clearing over there.
Yes.
There are things that you have, once that starts, there are things you have to wait on from a utility standpoint to get everything moved, to get everything in place.
Right.
That can't happen until other things happen. So we're kind of in that period now where, the progress is happening, the steps are being taken. They're not always immediately visible. Same thing on the south side of town with 119. We're already approving design phases on that next leg that's going to go past Veterans Park. I know a lot of people are waiting on that. It's a big deal to our internal infrastructure and how we continue to develop south.
Yes.
So that is not on the back burner either. It's the steps that have to be taken to get it ready to go. And I know that's frustrating to a lot of people. As our mayor likes to say, the gears of government can turn slowly.
Right.
But in a lot of ways that's good because you want to do it right. You want to make sure it's right. So a lot of that stuff is happening and progress is being made.
Awesome. Thank you for the updates on that. Now, I want to end with talking about something really special and awesome. Fortune has put out a list, and we are on it.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Well, when I was running for council several years ago, we had just made Money Magazine's 50 Best Places to Live in America. I think I even mentioned at that time, I used to work on those lists when I was at Time Inc. back in my old journalism days. And so I know what goes into them. I know the kinds of things they look at, and that when you make a list like that, what makes it exciting? Because the criteria are exactly some of the things we've been talking about. Amenities, livable, walkable, but also the things that are absolutely necessary, like ambulance service and like being close to, important things that can keep you healthy and, make a place livable. And yeah, Fortune has done a 50 best places in America for families, and Alabaster's on it. We're number 34. Which, when you think about it in terms of, the tens of thousands of municipalities around the country, it's really impressive. We are right behind Stamford, Connecticut. We're going to figure out how to beat Stamford, Connecticut.
We've got that. I mean, look, the city center's coming, amphitheater, we got that.
Right. It is really, really exciting. And it's just a recognition of the great work that I'm really proud to be a part of this city leadership team. But all the way around the city, all the different departments that contribute to making this place a great place to live, like first responders, like what we've been talking about. It all goes into that, along with the amenities. They mentioned Alabaster City Fest in the article, which is exciting to artsy folks like me.
Yeah.
But it's a livable city all the way around, and we're excited to see that kind of recognition.
We already knew that, but we love to see the recognition.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
I love that too. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in with us on Council Comments each month. Jamie, we appreciate so much you guys taking time out of your schedule, coming and just breaking things down for us a little bit.
Love it, Nicole. Thank you for having us.
All right, guys, make sure you tune in next month to another Council Comments brought to you by the City of Alabaster.